Today on the Stay at Home Chef, I'm showing you how to make my lemon filled donuts. I'm a huge donut lover and I'm always making donut runs to my local donut shop. Nothing beats a fresh, warm donut. And the best way to get that is to make them yourself at home. They are seriously the best. And there isn't a single donut shop that I know of that can beat it. Start by adding 2½ teaspoons of instant dry yeast and ½ cup of warm water to a mixing bowl. Now, since I'm using instant dry yeast, I don't have to let this sit or dissolve or grow at all. We're ready to use it right away. That's the beauty of modern yeast. And we'll add in 1/4 cup of sugar, 1/4 cup of evaporated milk, 2 eggs, ½ teaspoon of salt, and ½ teaspoon of vanilla extract. And the last step, 1/4 cup of vegetable shortening. Now, if you're anti-shortening, you can always substitute butter, but I find shortening gives the best texture. Next, we're gonna add in 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. Just make sure you're using all-purpose flour for this. And then we'll go ahead and get this mixing. You wanna mix it until the dough starts to pull away from the sides of the bowl. Your dough should be soft and tacky, but it shouldn't be sticky enough to stick to your hands. You can add in flour a little more at a time to achieve this consistency. Next, take your dough and transfer it to a lightly greased bowl. Cover it with a light towel and let it rise for about 90 minutes. Once the dough has risen, transfer it to a lightly floured, clean countertop. And then roll it out until it's about 1/2 to 1/4 inch thick. You want it nice and thin. Next, we'll use a biscuit cutter to cut out our donuts. We don't want to use a donut cutter with a hole in the middle because these are a filled donut. Now we're looking to get 12 donuts, so cut them pretty closely. And then we'll re-roll out the remaining dough to get the rest of our donuts. Let the cut donuts rise for another 20 minutes. While those are rising, we'll get a couple of things ready. First, melt down some shortening in a large pot. You want to cover the bottom with about 1 inch of oil. You can also use cooking oil. We're going to bring this to 350 degrees. Then we'll also want to make the glaze for our donuts. It starts with 2 tablespoons of melted butter. Pour that in, along with 1 1/3 cups of powdered sugar, ½ teaspoon of vanilla, 2 teaspoons of evaporated milk, and then we want just a pinch of salt. And whisk this together until it's smooth. Thin it out with about 2 teaspoons of water. You want it to stay a little bit on the thick side because remember that the heat from the donuts will melt the glaze. But you might have a nice paste-like consistency is what you're going for. Set the glaze aside and we're ready to head on over to the stove and fry up some donuts. Lay the dough carefully into the hot oil. I'm going to work about 3 at a time here. The donuts will puff up and we're going to fry these until they're golden brown and then flip. Flip them over. You want the other side golden brown as well. Once they're done, transfer them to a paper towel lined cooling rack. Let them cool for just a minute or 2 until you can handle them before you dip them into the glaze. Just dip the top in, swirl it around and transfer it to wax paper. Let the glaze drip all over the donut. Next, it's time to fill your donuts. And since I am a huge fan of lemon, we're gonna fill ours with lemon curd. You can buy this at the store. It's usually near like the peanut butter and jelly, or you can make it from scratch. Whichever you choose, put it into a piping bag with a large tip on it. Take a nice puffy donut, stab the tip in the top, and squeeze in some filling. You can easily experiment with other jams, jellies, and curds for a flavor that you love. Thanks for watching. You can find the full written recipe in the video description. Be sure to subscribe and check out the rest of my channel where you can find hundreds of restaurant quality recipes you can easily make at home. See you later.